Carrying costs. Carrying costs. That's what we're going to talk about today. Carrying costs, okay? Like, boom, what does it cost to hold on to your condo? Stay tuned. All right, welcome to my channel. I am Ashley with Keller Williams in Everett. I'm a real estate agent up here. I have tons of videos here on YouTube. And today we're going to talk about the carrying costs associated with your condo, okay? And we'll kind of get into that a little bit. There's going to be a longer video that I'm going to do looking at reserve studies, which will kind of go hand in hand with this. But before I get started, I am working with a buyer that is looking for a brick house built sometime in the 1930s or 1940s in the Everett area. So if you have a brick house, or if you know of somebody who has a brick house and you're thinking about selling, give me a call. Let's see what we can work out. Okay, so on to the video. So I thought it would be great to sort of talk about carrying costs, okay, because condos are a little bit different than owning a single family home in some ways, okay? So, I did that video where we were talking about the HOA board, just a few videos back, and this is where you kind of get people who are really familiar with like HOA fees, okay? So that is the amount of money that you have to pay monthly in addition to any mortgage that you have on the property. And so a lot of times what happens is condos look like they're relatively inexpensive, except you have these required HOA fees every month, which can make it seem like your month-to-month on your condo is more expensive than, say, owning a single-family house. Now, I will tell you that the reality is that the HOA fees are usually going towards maintenance of the building, maintenance of the property, so this would be like a landscaping, and other maintenance things, so like if it has a pool or a gym, okay? And so with your personal, single family house, you might not have that. You might not have the pool, the gym, the clubhouse, and all these things that have to be maintained by the whole entire community, okay? So I give you that, okay? So if you had a single family house, you wouldn't have to worry about that expense. On the other hand, with a single family house, you still do have similar things, like single family houses need roofs, just like condos need roofs. They all need siding, they all need paint eventually, and so those carrying costs the HOA fees go towards savings and allocating those expenses. And then a lot of times, because you don't mow your own lawn at the condo, that expense is also covered by those things, okay? And so sometimes the carrying costs can just be crazy. I think that if you're shopping for a condo and you've started looking around, especially in the Seattle area, you've seen some HOA fees that are creeping up into like the $600 and $700 range, which is quite a bit of money. And maybe it's just not the right time to buy those condos right now, okay? So usually there aren't any other monthly carrying costs associated with condos. Now, on occasion, there are things called special assessments that come up, and usually this happens because of the way that they're saving money on a monthly basis. So what will happen usually is they'll have a big expense that comes up, like they'll be like, oh my gosh, we have to replace all the railings on the decks in all of the units. And then they come up with a calculation. The condo, because of its structure, can actually go to a bank and borrow the money. And so if they do that, what ends up happening is you would then have a monthly fee in addition to your HOA that you pay, which, can be, I don't know, could stress your finances a little bit. Depending on what that monthly amount is. I've seen ones that are like $50, and I've seen ones that are like $200 and $300. The other way that they do it is they just bill you directly. So it's in some ways it's nice if they can go to the bank and just borrow the money, and then you guys can make small payments over say 5 years. But the other way that they usually handle it is they'll say, okay, this whole project is going to cost X dollars, let's say $100,000, and we have to divide it by however many units we have, and they just give you a bill. They say, hey, you got to pay whatever it is, $8,000, $5,000, and you just have to pay it. So that could be a carrying cost that you don't really consider, and that many condo owners don't consider or save for, in addition to just regular expenses that go along with owning a house. So that was my video. If you have questions about condos, please comment down below. I'm just giving information about condos for the next month. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook. I put tons of good information on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook and hit my website, ashleybolden.com. And I'll see you again soon, YouTube.